So now, obviously, it is important that what you all have contributed to the program. And here, to address you in your valedictorian speech is Paul Huynh. Please, Paul, come to the stage.
Woo. Dean Mehoff, Dean Pear, faculty and staff, family and friends, esteemed guests, and the graduating classes of GEMBA 2017 and EMBA 2018. Welcome and good afternoon. I vividly remember about a year ago stepping into INSEAD. I was dressed in a business suit, but no tie, of course, because, I'm the cool, relaxed Google guy. Nervously excited, for I was about to meet my classmates, wondering if the cool kids will be my friends. On that first day, I started my walk towards the Fontainebleau campus with an Englishman living in Australia, and a Colombian woman living in Canada, and a Norwegian living in France. We all entered the amphitheater to be welcomed by diversity personified. Never had the founders imagined when they started INSEAD they were able to drive diversity to this degree into the values of a world-class institution. We had doctors, soldiers, of course consultants, half the population of Estonia, entrepreneurs, engineers, Tartars even, and so many more. While diverse, I think we can all agree that we would have wished there were more women in our class. Let's take a moment to honor the brilliant women in our class, as well as celebrating the 50th anniversary of the first woman MBA graduate at INSEAD. Nevertheless, what invigorated me most was the sight of over 100 fellow travelers undertaking a similar journey and completing it. A wise science historian by the name of James Burke once said, "You can only know where you're going if you know where you've been." Do you remember where you were 2 years ago? For most of us, we were starting to explore the possibilities of doing something called an executive MBA. Whether we're at the height of our careers looking for tools to climb even higher, whether we're just satiating that undying thirst for knowledge and learning in a formal classroom setting, or whether we wanted to be part of something great, perhaps something rated #1 in the world. The thought of subjecting ourselves to the unending #OMG moments was the start of a journey in pursuit of something greater. #OMG. I have to write 7 essays for this admissions application? #OMG. I have to pay how much in tuition and fees? #OMG. I got in. Yes, I got in, because I'm pretty amazing. Yes, I got in. And #OMG. Why did INSEAD insist that sending us 5 kilos worth of paper was okay, as long as I deemed it pre-reading? Since day one, 221 of us completed what we thought was impossible over the past 400 days. For the data-driven GEMBAs, let me list a few stats. 60+ days of modules, 54 nationalities, 12 core courses, and of course, those dreaded exams. 4 electives, 3 campuses, 1 institution. We've also had many joyous occasions. Countless drinks at Glasgow and Fontainebleau, porters in Abu Dhabi, and timber here in Singapore. Dozens of new GEMBA babies. As a fact, we recently welcomed another baby into the family. Congratulations, Fahad. While we're happy that you're here, we're more excited for you to meet your baby daughter by the end of this weekend. 3 marriages. Congratulations, Amrek, Haroon, and Theo. A pair of babies. Congratulations, Mr. Foe. How you managed to do any pre-readings is incredible. And me, I only had champagne to babysit. But it hasn't been an easy ride, has it? Some struggles were easier than others. I remember that one time, silly time, where we thought it was a good idea to party until 6 a.m. when we had classes at 8:30. The fight and mental strength we had to muster up to climb out of bed, rush to class, just to sit behind that nameplate. But the INSEAD coffee machines helped us with that. Even in the last 72 hours, we struggled with time and energy allocation in the first 100 days challenge, like we did throughout the entire year. While we raced against the clock, jumped from room to room, we pushed ourselves to stay present, to savor the moments, yet we yearned for a little catnap. But some struggles were a little bit more difficult. I remember when I was preparing to leave work for the first time, there was an unsettling feeling that I'd fall further behind work and I let my team down. Some of us had to leave our family and friends behind to attend INSEAD modules, sometimes missing out on anniversaries, birthdays, and perhaps not being able to put your child to bed at night. The feeling of disappointing loved ones was deep and unpleasant. There are many moments in the past year and a half when we questioned our motives. We asked ourselves, what am I doing here? My family needs me more. Am I selfish by being here? We can all identify with those moments and those soul-searching questions, yet the conflict continues to eat at us, to poke us on every side. I wondered, have I bitten off more than I can chew? I started asking myself questions like, what am I doing in my job? Does it really align with my values and my passions? More profoundly were the struggles with our true selves. I remember when sitting in our first UDJ class with a sense of inadequacy overtaking my body. Upon looking around, it appeared that everyone else understood, except for me. I definitely remember feeling a little bit too embarrassed to raise my hand. My pride took over, and I lost out on a learning opportunity. This reminds me of a story by Hans Christian Andersen, The Emperor's New Clothes. Once upon a time, there was a well-loved emperor who had the respect of his kingdom and loved new clothes. Every day, he would put on a new suit and visit the villagers of his kingdom. They would clap and cheer him on. One day, he meets the finest tailors in all of the land, but they had bad intentions. They convinced the emperor to give them money in exchange for a make-believe invisible suit. Because of that, the emperor dresses up in his finest suit and parades himself through the squares of the kingdom, when suddenly a little boy points up at his dad and says, "Look, Dad, he's not wearing clothes." The father hushes the child and lowers his gaze. Upon seeing the reaction from the crowd, the emperor looks down at himself and realizes he is indeed naked. In my version of that story, the emperor goes into hiding for 3 months from embarrassment and shame. And because of that, the butler knocks on his door and says, "Sir, you must face the kingdom again. They need you. Get dressed." Until finally, the emperor got dressed, greeted his villagers in the open, where they embraced him again as a leader of their kingdom. As you can see, the emperor faced a moment of vulnerability, shame, insecurity, and went into hiding. He didn't want to face the others for fear of ridicule because he had revealed something of himself that people shouldn't see. Similarly, in our INSEAD journeys, we've revealed things of ourselves that we don't often share with others, but we did to our LDP teams, coaches, Gemba friends. As leaders, sometimes we don't want to show our vulnerabilities, our nakedness. In the story, the little boy and the butler made an innocent observation. Then the emperor took it up. Through the butler's support, he found courage again and got dressed. Through our Gemba program, we completely exposed our innermost thoughts and insecurities about our family dynamics, our work challenges, and our real struggles as leaders. The feedback we hear about ourselves are often not criticisms. They're mere observations, yet they hurt us. But upon reflection, the observations are constructive. Their feedback came with complete acceptance for us. And like the emperor, we have become better people. We have become better leaders because we owned up to our vulnerabilities and embraced them as our weaknesses. Leaders today need to get dressed to face our villages again. We got dressed to face the evils of NPV calculations, hegemonies, and Porter's five forces. We got dressed to experience the joys of late-night study sessions in breakout rooms, healthy debates on China's futures in the residence bar, and learn how to speak loudly or carry a value stick. For the introverts in our group, we got dressed when we asked an introvert, "May I join you?" And that led to fascinating conversations, laughter, and even an invitation for drinks at Porter's. We have struggled, but look at how far we've come on this Gemba journey. Let us take a moment to give ourselves a huge round of applause. It is at this stage that I'd like to thank our village that had supported us on our journey. To the staff of the Gemba program, I'm sure you agree that EMBAGrad17 was uniquely crazy. For all your patience and hard work, from the days of application to the academic year across 3 continents, your career advice, and setting up this amazing graduation. Gael, Natalie, Samia, Marian, Christina, Gina, Sabrina, and Vicky, we sincerely thank you. To the professors and faculty of INSEAD, each of you is a world-class expert in your subject. In the few short hours that each of you had with us, it is no exaggeration that you have not only increased our knowledge, but you also actually rewired our brains. Thank you for the intensity of your work and for the feedback on ours. To our LDP coaches, it's not really easy to get a bunch of stubborn, prideful, tough adults to open up, but you managed to persevere and continue to have faith in our ability to acknowledge our strengths and weaknesses and ensure that we had psychological safety to openly share. And for that, we thank you. And a special shout out to my LDP team, Neha, Dilmar, Guillaume, Mihal, for never giving up on me, yet always giving in. Because, I really don't like no as an answer. To the class reps, every module you worked with enthusiasm and added to the official schedule. I've been truly amazed by the work, especially when we're visiting new campuses for the first time. Marilyn, Karmit, Subi, Keti, Khalid, Muna, Mara, Clement, and Sanjeev. And our honorary class reps, Dimitri, Rami, Louis, Benny, and CK, for all the hard work and amazing events. Thank you. To our employers and our teams back at the office, without your trust and your exceptional abilities to take the reins in our absence, we would not have had the rich experience in building bonds and extracting as much knowledge here at INSEAD to improve our team performance. So thank you. Most importantly, we turn to our loved ones, assembled here and watching across the world. Without my mom, I am nothing. I'd like to recite a Vietnamese poem to honor her and our parents, for the support is unique. Công cha như núi Thái Sơn, nghĩa mẹ như nước trong nguồn chảy ra. Một lòng thờ mẹ kính cha, cho tròn chữ hiếu mới là đạo con. Dad's labor is as big as a Tai Sun mountain. Mom's love is like water flowing from the source. With all my heart, I respect and honor my parents. To uphold the filial piety is my duty as a child. It is your unconditional support of whatever direction we have chosen that we appreciate. Thank you. To our wives, husbands, partners, and dearest friends, the past year and a half, we've been able to pursue the dream of studying at INSEAD, and we have reaped the rewards every day that we've been at school. However, you have put up with the stresses and strains, our bouts of pre-reading, our panics over exams, and our absences. All we can say is, you have our endless appreciation for your love and sacrifice. Thank you. Now I see some children in the room today. Can all the children put both of your hands in the air like this? Yeah, that's right. Perfect. You are superstars, true winners in our books. We know that you miss your mommy and daddy when they're away, but you must know that they miss you too, right? I was told that you helped mommy and daddy with their homework when they came home. You deserve the loudest round of applause. The values of our village, combined with the values of our founders, helped us have courage to change, embrace who we are, and to leave our comfort zones. They forced us to be brutally honest with ourselves, for the things we've seen cannot be unseen. They dared us to challenge assumptions, for the new lessons we've learned cannot be unlearned. We know what's possible. We know we have to make an impact wherever we go. Today marks the end of our global executive MBA journey. We're no longer 221 individuals. We're no longer Gemba Asia, Gemba Europe, or Gemba Middle East. But we wear the cloak of Gemba 2017 and carry the values of INSEAD on our shoulders. Today, we stand as proud INSEAD alumni. No matter what your vulnerabilities or insecurities are, remember that your INSEAD village is here to support you. Now, like the emperor in his village, go and get dressed. Thank you.